I'm your host, Carly Palmer. Welcome to the Sometimes Show. This is episode 3 of Aspects of Vietnam. And today we're going to be focusing on prisoners of war coming back home and changing the family dynamic. Because certainly they did just that. So, prisoners of war were definitely looked at as heroes because they sacrificed so much for their country and then they were, captured by the other forces. So when they came home, they had an extremely hard time reintegrating into their own family. Some of the men that were captured during the Vietnam War were kept for years. Some of the wives moved on with their lives, and by moved on, some were remarried and some decided to declare their prison of war husbands as dead because they had been gone for so long and they weren't sure if they were ever coming back. Which obviously changed the family dynamic if you come home and your wife is married to another man, or if you're legally dead because the papers say so. Other than being remarried and being declared dead, some women decided to turn their attention towards the anti-war movement, which also happened to affect the family once the prisoner of war husbands came home and figured out that their wives had been a part of the anti-war movement. These husbands felt that it was a blatant betrayal, but in reality, the government wasn't doing enough to find these men, and the wives knew it. So they took it into their own hands to exercise their right to protest and find their husbands. But the husbands didn't feel that way. They just felt like they had, betrayed their country and them. The argument of masculinity was also changing the family. A term called momism was brought up, where people believed that women who were in charge of the family while people were prisoners of war technically made even though they didn't, and this isn't the thing, that they made their sons soft. Wives have been in charge of the family for so long, and the authority they had when the men got home was taken away from them. So there was a question of whether or not male authority was declining or not because of the wives being in charge for so long. Some women were happy to give back the authoritative position back to their husbands, and others weren't so much. Some prisoners of war marriages worked out and some didn't. Husbands were gone so long they felt like a stranger in their own family. They felt like they had done justice to their country and they deserved everything to be normalized when they come home, but that just wasn't the case. Thank you so much. My name's Carly Palmer, a knockoff Trevor Noah, and we'll catch you next time.